All right, a couple of things here just so you guys are kind of updated with what we got going on today. Just a couple guys that are going to be out. Compton and Neil Sterling, they won't practice today. We got a couple guys banged up, but they're going to try to go through individuals, see where we're at. Quinn Williams, he'll be limited today, so you guys will – I know last time you guys were out here, he wasn't doing much. And then Marcus is going to continue working 7-on-7 on the back end, being that red jersey. He's done a good job at least getting some reps. So that's kind of where we are health-wise. I know you guys want to ask about the GM deal. We went through some interviews this weekend. Those guys did a great job. It was it was a great process we've gone through so far, and we'll just keep huddling up and figuring out where we're at with that, and until Christopher's ready to make a decision. And once that happens, you guys will obviously know about that quickly. And then whatever you guys got.
Are all your players here?
Yeah, everybody's here.
How much will Le'Veon be able to do in the next 3 days?
Well, we'll be smart, just because he hasn't been here. I know he's been working out. I'm not really worried about him being in shape. It's more of just kind of football. Getting back to that, getting used to terminology, kind of what we're doing. Really, this is going to be big for him to get used to the individual that we're going to be doing on the field. Him kind of getting used to the practice routine that we're going to be doing. So this will be next few days will be a great opportunity for him to do that. And we'll get him into practice as far as like the actual competition part of it. We'll just be very selective of what we put him in on.
How valuable that is having him here? I know it's only for 3 days. You're not going to see him for a while after that. Versus not, versus like texting with him and doing things like that.
Well, anytime that we can work on the field, it's great for the coaches. I think it's good for the other guys as well, because you get used to a guy's running style. We all know he has a unique running style, that patience that he has, and for me to get used to what he likes, that communication of him saying, not really a big fan of this, but I love doing this, and just that constant communication just in person, that helps a play caller. I think it helps the line, helps the quarterback, and just kind of getting used to that communication those two guys have, that's critical, of routes. Hey, what are you thinking when you see this defense? What are you thinking when you see this leverage? So, there's a lot of little tiny details that you really can accomplish when in person compared to just talking through a meeting or, talking over the phone or through text message.
Will that evolve throughout the season? Obviously doing that in minicamp, doing that training camp, even in the preseason is one thing, but when the bullets are really flying.
Oh, absolutely. It'll evolve throughout the entire time that you're together. It changes from week to week. It changes from year to year. You're always trying to find different ways to defeat a defense, and it changes through the techniques of some of these routes. What coverages are you getting? How are teams going to try to take him away in the passing game, the running game? Then how do we take advantage of that across the board? So, every rep that you get is going to be valuable, whether it's now, training camp, in the season. It all matters.
Well, that said, did you miss a lot by not being with Sam, not being with you first time you guys were all together? Did you miss a lot these last couple of weeks?
Just for us, it's when it's the first year of an offense and we're all trying to kind of get used to each other. You lose a little bit, but the good thing is with professional football players, and this is what I've realized over the last 15 years, is they are quick studies. This is what they do. Just like you guys do what you do, like you can change something very quickly. All right, hey, this is how I got to do this part of my job. And this is the same thing for those guys. They can adapt very quickly.
Has there been a little extra excitement, though, having him in the building yesterday and then today?
I guess it hasn't. I haven't really been thinking about it. We're just trying to get ready for practice. So, I'm sure he's excited to get back out. It's been a while for him to be back out there. It'll be good to kind of get our guys going, and just kind of it's like the first step for us to really see, what we'll evolve to.
Is your expectation that one way or the other, whether he's doing it on his own or here, that he should be fully up to speed come the first day of training camp? Would you expect that fully from him? Or do you think that
it's a complete reset? When you hit the first day of training camp, you start over. You start everything over. It's, when we started phase 1, we started on install 1. When we kind of got to the beginning of OTAs, we started on install 1. When we start training camp, we start back on install 1. So you start over 3 times. So that's really, it's about hearing that same stuff over and over and over again, and that's really what, that's the goal to it.
Have you had a chance to face-to-face with him and just see what's, just get together and just
No, I saw him this morning. I mean, we just kind of, it was good. We just talked to him, gave him a little heads up on you guys, so I ain't worried about the football part.
Adam, you said a couple months ago that your blueprint would be in pencil, not pen, when we asked you about Le'Veon specifically.
Right.
Just generally speaking, when you have a player of his talent, do you have to bend more to his skill set, or does he have to kind of conform to your systems, or give and take from these guys?
It's more to the player's skill set. Like we can say, here's what the offense is, but I'm gonna really lean on what he does well. Like I could watch as much film as possible from Pittsburgh and say, okay, here's what he's done, and that can be my starting point, which that is kind of our starting point. And really, it's going to be the communication of him saying, hey, I've never tried this before. Can I try this? Or can I do these routes? I mean, he's going to be able to communicate with me of, hey, I want to try this, or I don't, I've never been comfortable doing this, and that can help me eliminate things very quickly.
Do you believe that your system can actually get even more out of Le'Veon? When you guys start matching together, you conform to him, he conforms to you. Do you believe that you can get even more out of him than what he did in Pittsburgh?
I think as a coaching staff, you always are going to think that, and as a player, I know in his mind he thinks there's more that he can do, and really that's what you want to do. You want to challenge guys, and you want to try to push them and get them to do more than what they did the year before, and just keep improving guys. And I think, in this system, there's just a lot of it's an open book. It's really how far can the player take us as far as what we want to do.
Adam, on the GM search, did you participate in all the interviews?
Yes.
And to what extent is your involvement now?
Christopher's going to make the decision. So I mean, that's it. Just in respect to that whole process, that's as far as I'm going to go with it.
Adam, is there more interviews to come, or are you seeing just the 4 candidates you have so far?
We'll kind of see moving forward. That's hard for me to say right now.
Is it fair, Adam, to say that the team will have a decision in place before the break?
I mean, I hope so, because it would be nice to do that. But at the end of the day, we're going to do however long it takes us to get the right guy. That's what we're going to do.
What's the difference in minicamp from OTAs for you, if there is one?
The biggest change is the fact, one, it's mandatory, so guys have to be here. And the second one is we can actually have meetings in the afternoon. We can have our walkthrough this evening. We get a certain amount of time that we can have guys in the building, which is extended compared to OTAs. So it's just our ability to watch practice, after practice, kind of get everything tightened up, get a little more install in, and then moving on to the next day and then starting fresh the next day.
Do you anticipate things then, because that being ramped up? I mean, obviously OTAs were pretty spirited, but do you anticipate between you and Greg kind of offense versus defense going to be ramped up even more?
I mean, I'm sure guys, with you guys out there, I'm sure it'll get lively. Seems like it does. You guys bring the best out of everybody.
You mentioned Le'Veon's unique running style. How much of a transition is that for the offensive lineman in terms of, because sometimes it'll take a couple of seconds before he hits it?
Yeah, it's going to take some time to get used to. I think it's really the time that you learn is when we're in pads. When we're in pads, when we actually when defenders are fitting up on the linemen and kind of getting to the second level, that's really the key. It's harder when we're just in helmets, because there is a little bit. There's more room to run through. When you get in pads, it changes the game a little bit.
What went into your decision to have a minicamp before the end of OTAs?
You know what? Just started doing it last year, and we kind of like the flow of how we did it and how we set up, because there's 4 OTA days the last week, and it just is a good flow for us. It just works for how we want to do things.
Everybody good?
All right, guys.